If you're watching this video, you're probably asking yourself, how can I become a professional soccer player? You see, that's a question I used to ask myself all the time when I was 15, 16 years old. Where do I even begin? Where do I start? What's the best way I can go about it? Well, you guys are in luck today, because today's video is about 5 tips that I've learned throughout my career that will help you guys sign professional contracts in the future. Now, before we get into the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me bring you guys higher quality content. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Tip number 1, have a plan and invest in yourself. If you want to give yourself the best chance of signing a professional contract, you must have a well thought out plan on how you're going to achieve this goal. The most important thing about this plan is that it's very process oriented rather than results oriented. You may be asking yourself, why? The thing about a process oriented plan is that it allows you to focus on the day-to-day habits that will make you a better player. If you don't have a well thought out plan, then there's no way that opportunities are just going to land in your hand. So make a plan and make sure it's well thought out and process based. An example of a well thought out plan is something like this. Firstly, I would try to find a way to make money, ask for family or friends to help you invest in yourself. That way you can pay all the expenses for any tryouts, any traveling, anything that you need so you can get an opportunity. My second step would be to improve on the fundamentals, everything that goes into the game. In this step, I would make sure that I can make the highest level team in my local area. And if I'm not at that level, I would improve to make sure I can achieve that level. Now, the third step, after making the best team in my local area, I would make sure I would make a highlight video of all the tapes that I have from that season. This way, coaches in other areas, in other parts of the country, even other countries, can watch my highlights and actually see how I play, and that way I can get opportunities from my highlight tape. I will not just only send these highlight tapes to coaches, I would send them to agents and everything as well who are looking to represent young and up-and-coming players. You see, my third step would be to make sure I have a backup plan of where I'm going to play if I don't make a certain team or I'm not good enough to go pro at 18, 17 years old. If I'm not good enough to go pro at 18 years old, then I have to find a way to keep developing. That way I can sign a professional contract in a couple of years from now. An example of this would be something like going to college or playing in a semi-professional league. My fourth step in this plan would be to attend the necessary combines and open tryouts so I can meet players and meet coaches. You see, the reality of open tryouts and combines is that the probability of getting signed at one of these is very low. But the good thing about open tryouts and open combines is that there's a lot of players that will probably sign professional contracts outside of that open tryout. So a smart thing to do is to go to these open tryouts and connect with all these players and coaches. That way they can help you out in the future. Tip number 2, enjoy the process. Be process driven. You see, when it comes to young players, many of them are not patient. They want to see immediate results. But the thing about football is you have to be very patient with opportunities, because most of the time the answer you're going to receive is no. I don't know how many times that I've tried out for a club and the answer is just straight up no. So you must be patient and truly enjoy the process. Enjoy what you do. Surely enough, with constant repetition and practice and failing and trying and failing and trying, you will get your opportunity, but you must be very patient. And patience means that you work as a professional when you're not a professional, and you work the way you need to work so you can be that guy that you want to be. Tip number 3, step out of your comfort zone. Stepping out of your comfort zone is essential for anybody who wants to become a professional soccer player. You may be asking yourself, why does it matter? But when it comes to professional football, the higher you go up the levels, the harder it becomes. If you're not used to being outside of your comfort zone, the higher you go up the levels, you're going to be more uncomfortable and you're not going to succeed because you're not used to that feeling. So in the pursuit of this dream, be comfortable in the uncomfortable. As you develop this way of life, you will realize that your comfort zone grows the more you step out of it. But the more you stay inside of your comfort zone, the smaller it gets. If you're not used to these uncomfortable moments, maybe when you sign your first professional contract, you might struggle a lot because it's very uncomfortable. It's very testing of yourself. You spend a lot of time alone. You might be away from family. And all these factors impact your level of play. A small example of this is something like practicing your weak foot. You see, all these weaknesses are uncomfortable. You don't really want to go out and train these things. You want to train your strengths, right? The thing about it is you're never going to really become a professional level player if you don't have these weaknesses into strengths. So if you really want to improve and give yourself the best chance of signing a professional contract, be comfortable doing the uncomfortable. Tip number 4, make sure you know why you play and what you play for. Like I said, the road to becoming a professional footballer is super hard and it's very difficult, and it'll be very testing of your inner self. There will be way more downs than ups, which makes it important to know why you are chasing this dream. Before you chase this dream, ask yourself these 3 questions. Why do I play football? Who do I play football for? And what is the purpose of me playing? If your answer to these questions are things like money and fame, I promise you, you will find nothing but discomfort in the search of this dream, and you will never be fulfilled. Having a proper intention is crucial to making it, because it's what's going to drive you to push through these difficult moments. So make sure you have a plan and have a clean intention. And the last tip, be accountable and be realistic. On the journey to becoming a pro footballer, you will encounter a lot of time alone. This meaning that you have to be accountable for what you do. So you must hold yourself accountable and stay on track of your nutrition, your sleep, your training, your workouts, everything, so you can actually achieve this goal. If you're gonna cheat yourself every day, you're never gonna make it. And this goes into being realistic. It is important to be realistic in order to really improve. I can't expect to be at this level if realistically I'm at this level. Being realistic does not mean being realistic of where I want to play, but it means being realistic of where you are at the moment and what you need to do to improve to get to that certain level that you want to achieve. And if you want to become a professional soccer player, you can't expect to be a professional soccer player if you're not at the level of a professional soccer player, because there's already pros in the world. A team is going to rather sign a pro that's been a pro for a while than someone who's never been a pro. So if you are not a pro currently, you have to make sure you're at the level. So like I said, step number 1, focus on the fundamentals. Focus on these things. Be realistic of where you are at the moment, where your touch, your control, your shooting, your passing. Improve those basic steps. Be realistic and improve. And then you will make it, I promise you. And then once you achieve these daily and realistic goals, then you can dream about playing in the Champions League. And I promise you, you will be able to make it that far if you're realistic with yourself of where you are at the moment. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed 5 tips that I've learned throughout my career that will help you guys sign professional contracts in the future. Like always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. And if you guys want more tips and tutorials on how to become a better player, please like, share the video. It means a ton, and that way I can keep bringing you guys higher quality content. In all other words, guys, I'll catch you guys later, and I'll see you guys on the next video.